So you've got the career or business part of your life figured out. Ideally, you're also in good physical shape and doing everything that's required there, but for some reason your dating life doesn't really match that. And if that just described you, then that's super frustrating. I get it, because I had that for a while, where my real life success and my success in my dating life were so far apart, and I was just not really understanding why that was the case. So in this video, I'm going to give you a step-by-step plan on what you can do to bring your dating life to the same level where it should be, to the same level as your business and career success, and ideally where everything just aligns and everything is at the same level, i.e. God tier, or whatever you want to call it. You just want to get to that point where everything works and everything is just the way you ideally want to have it, in kind of your dream life, your dream state. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you exactly what to do and in what order to do it. And just for sake of simplicity, I'm going to assume here that what you want first in the short term is have a better dating life, have a more fun dating life, date more of the girls that you're into, and in the long term, you hopefully meet a girl through that you actually want to date and potentially start a proper relationship with. And if that's you, let's get the fuck into it. First step you're going to do is you have to diagnose with honesty where you're currently at. And that's the thing that most men already fail, because like with everything in life, every problem we face, if we don't really understand the problem, it's going to be very hard to fix the problem. And we can only understand the problem when it comes to dating if we're honest with ourselves, right? We need to, just check if my microphone is here, we need to honestly assess where we're at, where we're fucking up, and what we can improve on, right? So most men think that it's a lack of confidence when it's actually their appearance or something in their grooming or fashion. Or they think vice versa, it's how they dress and they need to do looks maxing when it's actually how they talk or things they say. So what we're going to do is I'm going to ask you 3 questions, and I want you to answer these questions for yourself. You can of course also put them in the comment box down below, but I want you to answer these questions, and the responses that you will give to the questions will pretty much tell you exactly what you need to work on. The first question is how many of the women that you're attracted to, how many of the type of women that you're into, do you meet in a regular week? Second question that you have to ask yourself is when you meet a girl that you're attracted to, do you talk to her and treat her the same as you talk to your friends, the same as you treat your friends? Or do you somehow behave differently? Do you worry about whether she likes you? Do you worry about what to say? Or do you just act exactly the same as when you went with your friends? And the third question you have to ask yourself is when a girl looks you up online, your Instagram, your social media, and your online presence, does that align with your persona in real life? The answers to these 3 questions will pretty much tell you everything you need to know about what needs to be fixed. If you're not meeting enough girls, then you need to work on bringing more girls into your life. That's the first thing we're going to look at. If you do think you meet enough girls, but when you meet girls that you're actually attracted to, it's kind of not working out, then we need to work on your communication, on your behavior, and basically on you as a person. And when your online presence doesn't match with your real persona, you have to ask yourself whether that's going to be a problem. Because the truth is that nowadays everybody has like a micro personal brand online. So when somebody looks you up, what they find about you online will create an image of who you are. And if they met you before and then they see you online and that creates a completely different image, it's going to create a little bit of confusion and hesitance. They're going to feel like, that's not the idea I got from him, that doesn't really match. And that can create worry and a mismatch in trust, and it's just not a great overall feeling when a girl goes to the experience. Now the second thing that can happen is she meets you online. So your online presence creates an image in her mind, and when that does not align with who you really are in real life, then the moment you meet her, she will feel a little bit disappointed because she had a different expectation of who you are. So you need to create the best possible alignment between your online presence, your online micro-personal brand, let's call it, and who you are in real life. First thing we're going to fix is, before working on you, we're going to work on putting you in the right environments. And I'm going to link a bunch of videos here, but it starts with putting yourself in the right city, in the city where you can find the biggest number of girls that you like and where you are sufficiently exclusive. You just want to increase the chance of you meeting the right girls. I made a video on this. I'm going to tag this video somewhere here. Then in that city, and if you cannot move cities, then we'll figure out a way to do it in your city. The next thing you can do is put yourself in the venues where the type of girls that you like are hanging out. Figure out, if you're into yoga girls, where do they typically go in your city? What kind of cafes, restaurant, brunch places do they hang out at? What kind of gyms do they go to? And then you start hanging out in these places yourself, whether it's for your little coffee during work or whether you actually go there and work from there. Just use it. And I also made a video on this. I call this the setup. Go watch this video and start making this a part of your life. Just give yourself more exposure to the type of girls that you like. Second thing we need to fix is your behavior, your communication, and especially your sub-communication. Because the problem that many successful people have is that they give off signals. They sub-communicate something completely different from the truth. So by the way they behave, they actually appear less attractive than they truly are. They appear to have lower status than they truly have, just to use some of these terms that fly around online. So what we need to do is we need to bring your behavior up to your actual success, so people just see from how you walk, how you talk, how you behave, and how you communicate that you are that attractive, successful man. That's exactly what we need to do in order to align who you are with who you're portraying to be. And we don't want you to portray something less good than what you actually are, right? That makes no sense. And unfortunately, that's exactly the mistake that so many men are making. So what I like to ask my clients is, how would you act if you were super famous and super confident? Just you, but with these two factors changed. You're now famous and you're mega confident. How would you act different? Would you speak with more power? Would you speak more calm because you have less to prove and you don't worry about whether people like you or not because you're super famous anyways? Would you still talk the same way to girls if you knew that they all wanted to meet you and they all wanted to be with you? How would you act different in those cases? Now, if you can visualize how you would be different in these scenarios, well, that is your goal. That is how you should ideally start acting from now on. And it's in small increments that you get there. You start speaking with more confidence, you start speaking louder, you start moving more upright, you start using your hands to take up more space. And these are small things that you can use, but they will ultimately feed back into your personality and just make you more attractive. And I'm going to link a video I made here on how to stop performing when you talk to girls, because ultimately all of the things that I just talked about are external factors, but what you need to change is that mindset. So starting to act like the famous 10 out of 10 confident version of you requires you to stop worrying about getting approval from other people. I made a video on this. I'm going to link it here. Sorry for linking so many videos, but I don't want this video to go on for 2 hours. So I'm just giving you the high level to-dos. And if you want to dig deeper on them, go watch the videos that I've already made on the subtopics. Okay, so we've changed your setup to allow you to meet more of the girls you like. We changed your behavior to actually be more attractive to these girls. And now the infrastructure that's already in place will amplify its effect massively. Whether it's dating apps, social media, your social circle, everything will all of a sudden become a tool to meet girls because you are now this attractive guy. You are putting yourself in these environments. So just to use an example here, social media, before you might have just had some random pictures, but now all of a sudden you can take pictures of yourself in the environments that the girls you like go to, the environments that these girls like. So when they look at your social media, they see that you're in the know, that you're one of them, that you're like part of their social circle, which immediately increases your perceived attractiveness. And because now you're not just this appearance of a guy, but you actually have the attractiveness to back it up. Whenever you meet girls, they will actually want to meet you, and that will make your dating life a lot easier because you don't have to chase anymore. If the girls already want to meet you, it all becomes so much easier. Now, of course, when you're in these environments and you see girls that you like, usually you will still have to make the first step, start a conversation, but many times all it takes is asking a simple question and then learning to transition the interaction from that simple question into a full-blown interaction. When you get good at reading the signs, whether this girl likes you or not, it's so easy to continue the interaction, get her contact, and meet her again on a date. And if that's something that you want to get better at, something that you currently struggle with, hit me up. There's my Calendly down below. Let's have a chat. Let's see how we can get you there as well. Now, I want to share one last thing, and I'll call it a winning mindset, because that's really what it is. The thing that really makes the difference between people that have all of the right things in place but don't yet get the results. So they have their setup in place, they have pretty good behavior, they are attractive when you meet them, and they probably even have an amazing online presence. but they still don't really have the dating life that they dream of. And then there's guys that have all of that and they have an epic dating life. And when you look at the difference between these two groups, it's usually a difference in mindset. It's that the group that has a massively abundant dating life is that they play to win. When they meet a girl, they just go for it. When they see a girl they like, they strike up a conversation. When they have a match with girls on dating apps, they go for the date. They just try to make it happen and risk rejection. They risk failure. They risk fucking it up sometimes. They say the thing that's on their mind. They go in for the kiss. They just make the move and risk offending the other person. They risk failing. They risk rejection. And there's a beauty in it. You see, when I talk about this is beauty in it. Yeah, it's sometimes scary and sometimes you don't want to do it. But you know what? Only when you do it, you will get the results. Only if you risk, and only when you actually go for it, there is a chance for something to happen. And the truth is, I would rather have 9 out of 10 girls hate me and 1 girl love me than 10 girls be just okay with being around me, right? I want to meet girls that really like hanging out with me, that like what I talk about, that like my silly jokes, that just enjoy their time with me. So if I'm not being myself, if I'm not saying the things on my mind, if I'm not making the jokes that I have on my mind, if I'm not taking risks, if I'm constantly trying to micromanage, make sure that everybody feels fine and that I don't say anything that offends anybody, how am I going to get that there? Because everybody is just essentially seeing this filtered, edited version of myself, whereas I should just be myself. And yeah, some people won't like it, but others will completely love it. And that is why it's the greatest hack ever to play to win. Just risk rejection, just play for the win, and you will lose a couple times, but other times you will win massively. Go for that glorious victory or the glorious defeat. Don't go for the in-between where you're like seeing where it goes. Now look, if you want my help with this, there's a link to my calendar down below. Book a call with me. I will make sure to help you get to that level as well. And with that said, I'll see you in one of my next videos. If you watch these videos, you know exactly what to do. You know where to start. You know how to change your environment. You know how to change your behavior. These two things it's pretty much all you need to create the hypothetical abundance, and then all it takes is actually implementing, playing to win, and making things happen.